Okay, so get this. AI is catching tax cheats. And we're not talking about like some futuristic what-if scenario. This is happening right now, and it's seriously shaking things up. We're diving into a whole stack of news articles and even some official government documents, all about how artificial intelligence is changing the game when it comes to financial crime. So get ready to have your mind blown, because we're giving you the inside scoop on how AI is impacting your tax dollars. And trust me, you're going to want to hear this. Okay, so picture this. The US Treasury, using AI, managed to stop a jaw-dropping $1 billion. That's billion with a B in check fraud this past year alone. Yeah, that's 1 billion with a B. I mean, now, I know what you're thinking, okay, that's a big number, but like, what does it actually mean? Well, here's where it gets interesting.
That 1 billion represents almost triple the amount they stopped the year before. This isn't just some incremental change, it's a seismic shift in how they're combating fraud.
Yeah, a top official at the Treasury even called it transformative. And when you consider the sheer volume of transactions the Treasury handles, it really puts things into perspective. We're talking about 1.4 billion payments every year, adding up to almost $7 trillion annually. There's your Social Security checks, tax refunds, stimulus payments.
Yeah.
It's all in play.
And that's exactly why this is so important. With that much money flowing around, it's a massive target. But AI can analyze those huge data sets and flag anything suspicious in a fraction of a second, way faster than any human ever could.
Yeah, it's like having a superpowered detective constantly on the lookout, making sure every penny is accounted for.
Yeah.
And the results speak for themselves. The Treasury actually stopped over $4 billion in fraudulent activities this past fiscal year. That's a six-fold increase from just the previous year. So clearly, this technology is only getting more effective. And we're gonna dive a little deeper into how it all actually works. Now, you might be thinking about AI like ChatGPT, when we talk about this. But the kind of AI that we're talking about here, it's a little different. It's called machine learning. And it's all about crunching these like massive, massive amounts of data and then finding patterns and red flags that would take humans like ages and ages and ages to uncover. I mean, imagine trying to find a needle in a haystack. But the haystack is the size of Mount Everest.
Yeah, and that's where machine learning really shines. We're talking about AI sifting through these endless data streams, and they can identify suspicious transactions in milliseconds. That speed and efficiency, that's essential when it comes to today's world, because these methods used by fraudsters, they're constantly evolving.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's a bit like how those streaming services
Yeah.
always seem to know exactly what show to recommend next. But instead of just, suggesting your next binge watch, this technology is analyzing financial transactions,
Yeah.
but on a massive scale.
Yeah.
To catch these criminals in the act.
And it's not just about catching those obvious cases either. This technology can spot these subtle patterns and anomalies that honestly might slip past even the most experienced human analyst.
Oh, wow.
It really is like having this super-powered magnifying glass that can just detect the faintest traces of fraudulent activity.
Speaking of these sophisticated schemes, I actually came across a really a chilling example of this while I was doing research for our deep dive today. Do you remember that Hong Kong finance worker
Yeah?
who got scammed out of $25 million?
Oh, yeah.
Turns out it involves something called a deep fake video.
Right.
You know about those?
Yeah. For those who don't know, a deepfake is essentially this like hyper-realistic video that uses AI to make it look like someone is doing or saying something that they never actually did.
Oh, wow.
So in this case, the scammers used a deepfake to impersonate a trusted contact and trick the victim into transferring millions of dollars.
It's kind of scary how realistic this stuff can look now. It's a stark reminder that while AI can be this like incredibly powerful tool for good, it can also be exploited for malicious purposes as well.
Absolutely, and that's an important point to remember. While AI can significantly improve our ability to detect and prevent fraud, it's not a foolproof solution, right?
Right.
Human judgment is still paramount. I like to think of it as a partnership. AI raises the red flags, analyzes the data, but ultimately a human expert makes the final call on whether something is actually fraudulent.
Yeah, that makes sense. So AI is this incredible tool for like sniffing out financial fraud, but
Right.
it's not about to like replace humans entirely. But it makes you wonder, like, what does this mean for the future of, well, everything?
It's a really good question. Like, if AI becomes this good at detecting fraud, will it eventually, like, change how we even report our finances?
Oh, totally, yeah. Like where
Okay.
we need new systems, like
Yeah.
designed with AI in mind
Yeah,
from scratch.
exactly. Or what if AI gets so good that it like starts to redefine what we even consider fraud?
Well,
What if it starts like identifying these patterns of behavior that humans haven't even thought of as being risky yet?
that's that's a little scary, but also kind of cool. Like AI could reshape our entire understanding of
Yeah.
like financial systems, maybe even human behavior itself.
And that's just it. This isn't even just about taxes. This is about the bigger picture, the future of AI, the ethical concerns, the possibilities, or, I mean,
Endless. It's
basically,
both exciting and a little bit daunting, right?
absolutely. It's like stepping into uncharted territory.
Totally.
But that's what makes this so fascinating. Like, we're seeing this technological revolution happening right in front of our eyes.
And it's going to have huge
I
implications
hear
for
it.
all of us.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, I think we've given everyone a lot to think about today. We've gone from like billion-dollar busts
Mm.
to deep fakes,
Ah,
from how machine learning works to the future of
in
finance.
tax sheets.
Oh, yeah, and tax sheets. So that about wraps up our deep dive into the world of AI catching tax sheets. Hopefully you enjoyed it and maybe learned something new along the way. Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and as always, happy diving.